Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
4 phones. What's up, bro? You mad? You pissed? Are you pressed? Good. God, I cannot imagine having to live my life jumbling around and juggling around 4 different phones for all 4 different accounts, or however many accounts you have per phone, since I'm sure you have hundreds of sock puppet accounts just to keep track of people, which is fucking creepy. You and your 4 phones have Mr. 2 Phones himself, Kevin Gates, fucking quaking. Like, what the fuck? After you released your video, your clickbait ass video, because it was clickbait, people came to my channel and went to that video, that last video that I did about you, and they were like, oh my god, John mentioned you and exposed you and all this bullshit. I was like, girl, he didn't expose shit. The only thing you succeeded in doing when releasing that video was proving my point the entire time. It was hilarious. You did my work for me, so thank you for making my job that much more easier. I have never in my life ever have allowed anyone, male, female, I don't give a fuck who you are. I have never let anyone intimidate me or silence me in any situation. Do you really think I'm gonna allow you, a grown-ass man holding a children's plush toy in his videos while he spills tea, makes baseless allegations against innocent people, and tries to ruin people's lives with the bullshit that he puts against them that has all been proven to be false? You really think I'm gonna allow a grown-ass man carrying a Peppa Pig in all of his videos intimidate me and silence me? You got me all 50 shades of fucked up, my dude. Sorry. What makes that little thing that you do on your channel with Peppa Pig, what makes that so disturbing and weird to me, especially now as me being a parent, what makes it weird is that my unborn daughter doesn't even have a plush toy yet, but you, an entirely grown-ass man, has one and has a vice grip hold on that bitch in almost all of his videos. Does that not creep anybody else out? Is it just me? Because it's just fucking creepy to me. I don't know. John, you have never and will never, in any plane of existence, in any alternate universe, ever intimidate me. And you will never silence me. That's a damn fact. Let's get that crystal clear, abundantly crystal clear, right from the jump. You can try to paint me as the bad guy, John, but luckily people have pulled their heads out of their asses when it comes to following you and your little cult. And they realize the kind of person you are, and it shows with just one look at your social blade as of late. That sucks. By sending your beloved titty fam, which ew, by the way, you can send them as many times as you like. I don't give a fuck. Actually, you know what? I will say, within the first hour of your response video to me, my thumb down count for that last video I made about you went from 17 to 37. That was devastating. Like, I didn't know how the fuck I was gonna get back from that. Like, I was so sad. By sending what's left of your beloved titty fam to come dislike my videos and report them and all this bullshit, which is hilarious, by the way. In doing that, you proved me and everything I said about you in those last few videos about you to be 100,000% correct, which I thank you for, because like I said, you just make my job that much more easier when it comes to exposing you for being the shitty person that you truly have always been, John. You've just been really good at masking it with that, oh, I'm so positive, I'm not a hate channel, we're here to spill tea and laugh about things and all this bullshit, when in disguise, you are the biggest fucking bully and monster that has ever uploaded content onto this platform. People block you, John, not because you're so positive and so nice and so welcoming. No, they block you because you're a dick, dude. Like, you're an asshole to people. There's a reason why you have, like I said, those 4 phones, and it's not because you're so friendly. It's not because you're so nice. It's not because you're honest and truthful and spill the real tea with real receipts. I'm fairly certain one of those phones is dedicated just for fabricating busted ass receipts just to have tea in your channel, which is hilarious to me since your newest move has been to go to Guru Gossip and steal receipts from them, which is why all your content as far as tea and what's been already spilled is like 2 weeks late because you can't get the original receipts. You have to go searching for it on Guru Gossip, steal it from them, and then make your video. Like, come on, dude. At this point, you owe the life and sustainability of your channel to Guru Gossip. at least give credit where credit is due, no? So let's get to your video, John, because that's the reason why I'm ultimately here, because you made a response to my video, I'm gonna make mine. So here's my response to yours. So let's get to that busted ass bullshit you released, by the way, because a lot of people, after watching your video and listening to the illegally obtained sound recordings, and it wasn't iMessage, whatever the fuck you said it was, that's bullshit. Everyone listened to what you had released, and a lot of people had left comments on your video calling you out for your bullshit. But of course, since you have your comment sections so heavily moderated, and anything that looks even remotely close to being negative about you or calling you out on your shit gets deleted within seconds. Because of that, people came to my channel and left copies of what the comments they left on your channel and your video in my comment section. And there's one that was, honestly, it made me so happy that I wasn't the only one while watching your busted ass video and listening to those edited clips who picked up on your bullshit the way I did so fast. Let's get to the comment, shall we? So it says here, I hope that Ashley sees this, but I've just seen the Did Laura Copy Manny's palette comparison Morphe Ulta haul by John Cookian video, and Cuntian has both released the woman's name in her face with manipulated chopped up audio. My comment on his video will probably disappear because, well, I'll just copy and paste it here anyway. That's what you do, John, you delete shit. Hey, isn't it funny how John claims that he had permission to record but didn't include that audio? What's the answer for that, John? I had made this observation well before this comment was posted. And actually I put it in my comment section, but then I realized people probably wouldn't read it because it's so long. But that's why I ultimately wanted to make this video, because I want to get my point across about your bullshit ass recordings that you edited to fit your narrative, John, because that's what you do best. John, if you remember the video, if you watched the video, if not, don't waste your time. It's not worth watching, to be quite honest with you. If you watched the video, you remember John saying just before he plays the audio that he had two-party consent or something of that nature to record those recordings that he did, which is bullshit. Because if he truly had two-party consent, especially in the state that he was in, which is a two-party consent state, then he would have needed to have both people, both the wife and husband, state their consent on the audio clip and include it in his recordings, which he did not do, which to me only tells me one thing: there was no consent. Now, why would there even be consent? Why would they, if they've already said that he didn't have permission to record them or take pictures or whatever, which the wife made clear in the past videos I've made, why would all of a sudden now they say, yeah, sure, go ahead and record shit? It makes no fucking sense. Now, the reason I'm including the wife in this, despite the fact that she was not physically in the car on the way to the airport to drop John's busted ass off at the airport to get him the fuck out, is because John claims in this tweet right here that the woman had forced the husband to put her on speakerphone for the entire car ride just so she could listen in. But there's a couple things wrong with that, because number one, if she truly was on speakerphone, and if he really did get two-party consent, like I just said a couple minutes ago, he would need to have not only her consent of being aware of being recorded on record in those recordings, but he would also need to have the husband's on those recordings, which again, he did not have because there was no consent, and they had no idea he was recording. Hello? Number two, if she truly was on speakerphone, why didn't we hear her once interject into the conversation that John had put up on the video to make it sound like this guy was agreeing to being abused, when this guy has vehemently denied any abuse in his household this entire time? The only one pushing the abuse story is John. He's the only one saying, yes, there is abuse. Number two, don't you find it kind of weird that John was sitting there running his mouth to the husband about how he doesn't need to be abused and all this bullshit, which, by the way, if you did not pick it up, if you listen carefully, you can hear the jump cuts in the audio. You can hear the husband saying one thing to saying something completely different in the jump cut, and it makes it sound like he's agreeing with John about being abused, because that's what John does best. Like I said, John loves to fabricate bullshit. Not once throughout the entire recording do we hear the wife interject to defend herself, which I would absolutely do if I heard a psychopath making these disgusting allegations against me. I would absolutely have fucking a select few words to say to this person. But we don't weirdly hear her say a goddamn thing. So that tells me that John, again, was lying. Let's continue this comment. Isn't it funny that John has the audio of the woman saying that she would happily fight him, and there's a parentheses, that's not a threat, that's a if you want to go, let's go, and parentheses, yet there's no audio of the threats to kill or burn him? Isn't it funny that John doesn't say that he illegally recorded the couple during his time there, or that he took videos and photos of the woman involved despite her telling him not to, which she did a couple times? Isn't it funny that John blatantly cut audio to make it sound as though there was a complete conversation that went from you shouldn't be beaten, you shouldn't be treated like that, with the husband saying understood, when the fact is that the audio is you shouldn't be beaten, quick cut, you don't deserve to be treated like that, understood, quotation marks, starting to say something else, quick cut. He literally edited that entire conversation to fit his narrative. He literally edited this entire conversation to fit his storyline and his narrative. That's what John does. There has been a repeated pattern for years that shows that John likes to edit things to fit his narrative, and he likes to fabricate receipts to create a story because his channel is fucking dying. And he did exactly that with this situation. He edited that sound clip, those sound clips, especially the ones in the car, to make it sound like the man was agreeing to being abused, when this man, since day one, there has never been a story change on their end. However, John's story has changed multiple times, each time increasing in severity. Why is it that John, for whatever reason, can't seem to keep his story straight, but this couple has maintained since day one there has been zero abuse in the household? The victim, the person that John says was being abused, has maintained since day one there is no abuse in the household. What does that fucking tell you? Listen, buddy, if you're gonna chop up audio to lie to the internet, do a better job. I agree. As for how terrible John thinks it is to use this on YouTube, let's totally forget that the woman and husband involved reached out themselves to get the story out because of John's online teasing of the story. Let's forget the strong refutation that the husband was abused. Hello. And alright, let's just forget about the YouTube videos and the Snapchats where John here was eagerly talking about how the story would make such a great story time and how much he was clearly preparing to release the story for himself. Yeah. You can only be a John fan if you can conveniently suffer from random amnesia, which I guess a lot of them do. The expose of John's lies was given with the assurances that the couple were kept anonymous. But here's John, positivity only, I'm a good person, cookieing, spreading the woman's name to encourage his fans to go and harass her. What makes me laugh though, what truly is the icing on the cake, is that he's oh so terrified that someone would lie, i.e. tell the truth, about him. But he's always happy to spread the most vicious and evil lies about others, fake receipts, and the rest of it. I really hope that she and others online take legal action to get this vile waste of skin thrown in prison where he belongs. I mean, he's busy committing charity fraud by not adding the Cookian Foundation to the Charity Commission, and he still hasn't offered any accounts to HMRC. But hey, watch this comment get deleted because John can't handle anyone knowing that he's a disgusting, evil individual. The only thing that anyone can praise John Cookian for is his grim determination to somehow turn himself into a big-name celebrity, desperate to be famous and live the famous lifestyle. He has no scruples about how he'll get there, lie, cheat, however else, as long as he can do whatever he can to get there, destroying as many people as possible as he goes. This is the person that you are defending. Mazel tov. Once again, just to clarify, that comment was left under John's video. And I guarantee you, if you go do a thorough search, you will not find that comment anywhere. But I have it pinned on my video so you can see the comment that John so desperately got rid of, because once again, John, that's what you do best. Why do you continue to lie? You've been called out and proven to be a liar so many times by so many people, yet you still continue to do the same shit, thinking that you're gonna get away with it eventually, and you never do. Why keep doing it? Why keep being that type of person? I don't understand. You can sit there and try to blame people like me, people who make videos about you, for the downfall of your channel, but you cannot blame anybody else but yourself. Because the reason why your channel has been dying, John, and it has been, is because people are slowly starting to wake up and open their eyes to the bullshit that you do, the bullshit that you've done. Now, I don't know about anybody else, I can only speak for myself, but I was raised in a household where we were taught to stand up for what is right no matter what. It didn't matter if we were the only ones standing up for it, we had to be the ones to stand up for what is right because that's what's right. If you see someone doing something wrong, tell someone. If you see someone getting bullied, help them, defend them, be there for them. In this scenario, John, you are the playground bully that everyone has tried to tell on and everyone has told the teacher about, yet you somehow slither your way out of every single situation unscathed. To your subs, John, if you're still proud to call yourself Titty Fam after everything this man has done, that makes you just as guilty as him. Your complicity on these matters speaks volumes about who all of you are as human beings, and it really does. Anybody who can proudly stand behind someone as evil, malicious, vindictive, and manipulative as John, those people are, in my opinion, trash. They say that you are who you hang around with and support. Take a good look at who you're supporting. I will put a playlist of videos down below from fellow creators who have also exposed John for doing the shady things he has done. And I invite you to go take a look at any one of them because all of them pretty much expose him for all the shady things he's done. And if at the end of watching at least one of these videos, or maybe even all of them if you really want to get into it, if you still feel like you want to support him, then you truly are the lowest of low. By choosing to support a grown man holding a Peppa Pig plush toy meant for children, making baseless, proven false allegations against innocent people. This is the same person who did this clip just recently.
Only her gay best friend. Sorry, can I just edit this photograph?
A grown man drawing dicks on a picture of Jaclyn Hill and some other guy. My younger brother, stopped drawing dicks on stuff when he was in middle school. How old are you, John? Now, John, as you guys know, maybe you don't know, hopefully you guys will know after this video, if you take the time to go watch the videos down below, John has made a great number of allegations, and then oftentimes it's the same allegations against different people who, in John's eyes, have done him wrong. If you look at all the people he has made these allegations against, they all have one thing in common. Every single one of them. All of them, at one point, have done something wrong in John's eyes against him. This dude is literally always, in every situation, the common factor in each and every single one of these stories and allegations. But he's making all these same allegations against all these people. The same thing, pretty much. Does that not raise any red flags for anybody? What makes this even worse in my eyes is that he will sit there and make these allegations against these people with a smile on his face. A smile. He is happy to make these allegations knowing what he's possibly going to be doing to these people. He does not give a fuck. No one who is a good person would ever make these sort of allegations that could ruin and destroy a person's life. They wouldn't do it one time against an innocent person. This man has done it multiple times to different people. But you guys, the Titty Fam, you don't see shit wrong with that. He's good.
Wake up, sweetheart.
So as his audience, let me ask you now, and I welcome all responses. I don't delete comments unless they are unnecessarily fucking mean towards anybody. I don't give a fuck about that kind of shit. But if you are truly trying to make a valid point, I welcome any and all responses from anybody, and that includes Titty Fam. Where is your line? When is it going to be enough for you to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be supporting this person? Where is your line, John? You criticize me and chastise me about what shouldn't be released on YouTube as tea, yet you sit here and make allegations of abuse, allegations not only like a person getting abused, but animal abuse, baseless allegations of that bullshit. You make allegations of child grooming, you make allegations of pedophilia. Where is your line, John? Where are you going to stop? When are you going to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this shit anymore. It's not working. I look like a fucking shithead. When are you going to stop, John? Where is your line? Please tell me. Now, here's the last thing I wanted to mention because I want you guys to open your eyes to how smart and conniving and how calculated this dude is, okay? Has anyone noticed that when John does evil shit like this, especially, he will either make a full entire video against whoever he's attacking and trying to destroy the life of, but it will never stay up. It'll stay up long enough to get the views that he wants, and then the minute he sees it's being reported, he deletes it. In situations like these, if he truly has the cojones to keep the content up, he tucks the story, he tucks his evil doings into a video where it looks seemingly innocent. It's a clickbait video. Now, if you watched John's video, then you know that he didn't start his bullshit against me and this woman until well into the middle, towards the end of the video almost at some point. There is a reason for that. That's what I mean by him being calculated. He knows what the fuck he's doing, you know? He knows the loopholes that he can use to get away with bullshit like this, and it's worked for him for so long. I'm not exactly sure what the review process for a reported or flagged video would be at YouTube. I don't work for YouTube, obviously, but I'm fairly certain that they don't watch the entire video when honestly they should, especially with situations like this. People are getting away with bullshit like this because of that loophole where they assume, and they're probably right, most likely, obviously, that YouTube or whoever reviews these videos at YouTube only watches the video until a certain point. And if nothing happens, if nothing bad comes up or anything, they'll go ahead and clear it without watching the rest of the video where the bad shit happens. And I'm just assuming that's what happens, guys. That's the only thing that makes sense to me as far as figuring out how the fuck he's gotten away with all this bullshit for so long. That way John can sit there like this, looking dumb as fuck. What video? I didn't put a video up. Wipes his hands clean. He spread his evil, and now everyone who he had as subscribers, they're out attacking the person that he exposed, attacking the person that he made false claims about, sending death threats every fucking day, every fucking night. This shit has to fucking stop. I'm gonna go ahead and answer my own question because I know for a fact I'll never get an answer from John because he has never been honest before, so why would I expect him to start being honest now? Like I said in my last video, John doesn't have a line. That line only exists when people like me, people with the balls to call you out on your bullshit, your evil ass bullshit, then the line is very clear and you make sure to make it very clear that that is a line you do not cross, because it's only when it's against you, John, that line exists. Anybody else is fair game. You don't give a fuck who you destroy. You don't give a fuck who you hurt. You don't give a fuck how many friends you fucking lose. You have no friends anymore. You lost all of them by doing exactly the same shit that you've been doing to everyone else. You are a snake, John. You are shady, John. You are malicious, John. You are a bad person, John. You thought you had cojones enough to sit in that video halfway through hiding your evil bullshit to dox an innocent person. I call bullshit on the size of your cojones, because if you truly had the cojones you thought you did, let's be honest, if you're gonna be evil, at least own that shit. Say it with your chest. Do it in a fucking video and leave that shit up so people can see you for the fucking monster that you are. That way, when karma inevitably shows up to collect on your evil ass, which she's going to, because karma, that bitch does not discriminate against anybody and she knows no boundaries. It doesn't matter if you live in the UK, the US, the fucking islands of Fiji, fucking Hawaii, I don't give a fuck where you are. That bitch is gonna be there at your doorstep. Knock, knock, knock. Time to collect, bitch, for being an evil ass person. I cannot wait for that day to come. With that being said, I've spoken my piece. I'm done with this bullshit. If John wants to respond, go for it. I'll go for more rounds if you'd like to, John. I will keep on speaking out against you, John, because this is what is right. And I'm hoping that more and more people speak out against you if you've done them wrong, because that is what needs to happen to show everyone truly the evil person that you have been to a lot of people, John. That's it. I'm done. Goodbye.